Hello and warm welcome to Consulting Without Borders Perspectives. I'm Victoria Olska, your host and moderator for today's show. As the president of the Gabriel Al-Salem Foundation, I'm very happy to be here with you today as we're having our 22nd episode. Gabriel Al-Salem Foundation is a US-based nonprofit organization working internationally, and it is dedicated to celebrating life and inspirational work of the late Gabriel Al-Salem, who was an international management consultant and a global leader. Through our initiatives, we strive to honor Gabriel's legacy and his profound impact on the consulting industry, his commitment to excellency, and his advocacy for sustainability and positive social change on a global scale. Today is April 1st, and I would like to send very warm wishes to those of you who are celebrating Easter, equinox, Nowruz, the holy months of Ramadan, and other traditions taking place at this time of the year around the world. Please drop in the comments and let us know where you're tuning in from today. And of course, a huge shout out to those of you who are tuning into the replay of this episode at a later time. Welcome. Today, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and X, Twitter, so please feel free to engage with us by asking questions in the comments. Roman Vakulchuk, thank you for joining us from sunny Oslo, Norway. Wow, that's great that it's sunny today. Welcome, Roman, and thank you for joining. As I just mentioned, we are live today on various social platforms. So if you're enjoying what you see, please don't forget to hit the like button. It means a lot to us, and it also helps to spread the word about this live stream. Today, we are absolutely delighted to have as our guest speaker one of the winners of this year's International Award for Excellence in Consulting, which we proudly presented to 5 excellent companies and individual consultants on February 1st. Gulsara, welcome. Thank you for joining. As we continue to celebrate the achievements of these award winners, we'll actually be inviting them to this show one at a time in the next few months. So please stay tuned and get to know them closer and also learn more about their wonderful work. And today, please give a very warm virtual welcome to Jovid Gulommukhidinov, Managing Director of TajHydro Consulting, who is joining us today from Tajikistan. Hello, Jovid. Hello. Welcome.
Hello, Victoria.
Welcome.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. And I'm just saying Gulsum is joining us from Almaty. Thank you, Gulsum, for being here with us. Welcome. So as people are joining in, Ron Finch, hi from Las Palmas, Spain. So, Jovid, you can see that we already have viewers joining us from around the globe. Everybody's interested to hear about your beautiful country and the amazing work that you are doing there. Well, first of all, I just wanted to thank you, of course, for joining us today, for finding the time, and also to congratulate you again on winning the Award for Excellence in Consulting in the Environmental Responsibility category for a very important project aimed at providing electricity to 35 mountain settlements in the distant rural areas of Tajikistan. Here is the certificate that we gave to Jovid, and of course, he is participating today as one of the award winners in our show, and this is also our way to acknowledge the great work of these consultants who became the winners of the award. And by the way, if you're a consultant and if you're interested in submitting your own application, please, you can do so. We're already accepting applications for our next year's awards, and all the information can be found on the Gabriel Al-Salem Foundation's website. And let's just maybe put the website on the screen. I'll ask Anya to do that. Anya Al-Salem, she is diligently helping us with the technical side of the show. Yes, that's the website address, so you can find all of the information about the award there. Please send us your applications. We'll be very happy to receive them. Central Asia, well, Tajikistan is in Central Asia, and Central Asia is a very special place for us at the foundation, and to me personally, because this is where Gabriel Al-Salem and our family lived and worked for many years. We lived in Almaty, Kazakhstan, but as director of the EBRD Business Advisory Service Program in all Central Asia, Gabriel actually had a team in Tajikistan and traveled there frequently. In fact, his team is still there, working, and I'm always so happy when we have a chance to get in touch again, and especially when we receive applications and give out awards to our wonderful Tajikistan consultants. Jovid, before we start talking about your work in Tajikistan and the green policies in the energy sector, please tell us a little bit more about yourself, how you started working as a consultant, why you chose the energy sector.
Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, dear guests, for participating from all over the world. Well, as Victoria presented, my name is Jovid Gulommukhidinov. I'm Managing Director for TajHydro Consulting. Well, Victoria, frankly saying, I've started my career when I was even a student, and it was it's interesting that it was already at that time it was water sector, so that was the Italian NGO who was constructing water supply systems in different villages. So even though that I'm not the engineer, yeah, my background is finance and business administration, but it was really interesting to me to work in the area where you can contribute by developing the country. So yeah, after working in this area, I tried myself in a private sector for a few years, and then I decided that I should find something on the crossroads of private sector and working for development of Tajikistan. So, and I was looking for such kind of areas, and I found that consulting can be a case. So I was looking for consulting companies in Tajikistan, local consulting companies, and then yeah, I've applied for one of the positions opened in the project coordinator. So, and it was 2016. So it's 8 years that I'm in the energy sector, and yeah, so.
Did you study in Tajikistan? Did you get your degrees in Tajikistan, or did you study somewhere else?
Yes, I studied in Tajikistan. Also, I got some distance education and participated in short-term courses abroad.
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you so much for giving us a little bit more of the background information about you. It's always interesting to learn how consultants become consultants, because everybody always has a very interesting story how they end up, doing the work that they're doing. So it's always great to hear that. Well, I guess, yeah, at this point, I know that Jovid prepared a very interesting presentation about Tajikistan and the energy sector and the reforms in Tajikistan, and also a little bit about, again, the winning project, the one that got the award. Welcome, Dawn. Hello from Charlotte, North Carolina. Thank you so much for joining us today. Before any further ado, I would like Jovid to start with his presentation. And I know he will talk about Tajikistan, right, as a country and how beautiful it is. I just want to say that it's a country that is located at the heart of the Silk Road, which connected the East and the West. And of course, it's home to the most breathtaking mountain range in the world, including the Pamir Mountains, which are often referred to as the roof of the world. Is that correct, Javid?
Exactly.
Okay, well, maybe, yeah, we can then ask Anya to put up the presentation. And please, Jovid, tell us about TajHydro work and Tajikistan's reforms.
Okay, let me start then with the presentation. A few words about our company. We promote sustainable development of Tajikistan through provision of wide range of high-quality consulting services in multiple sectors. We do feasibility studies, pre-feasibility studies, energy audits for SHPPs, for transmission lines, distributions lines, and also we do capacity building to generation and distribution companies. So we are active from 2010, and by 2024 we have implemented over 30 projects in Tajikistan and a few projects in Central Asian region. Next slide, please. So a few facts about Tajikistan to those who don't know. Officially it's called Republic of Tajikistan. It's a landlocked country in the Central Asia. Dushanbe is capital and most populous city of Tajikistan. We have a border with Afghanistan in the south, with Uzbekistan in the west, and Kyrgyzstan to the north, and China to the east. And we are separated from Pakistan by Wakhan corridor. So over 90% of Tajikistan is upland, and around 50% of the country is located on elevation more than 3,000 meters above the sea level. So, as you mentioned, we have Georgia's Pamir Mountains, which are over 7,000 meters and widely known as the roof of the world. Tajikistan is also has the longest glaciers outside of the polar region, and it is home to thousands of glaciers. These snow glaciers and covered mountains provide over 90% of the Central Asians water resources used for energy, for agricultural needs, and for drinking. So we have more than 1,000 rivers, and we have also the second highest dam in the world is Nurek HPP dam, and also under construction is Rogun HPP. The dam will be the highest in the world, with 335 meters high. Next slide, please. So with regards to the Tajikistan economy, it's primarily agrarian, with agriculture employing a substantial portion of the population and contributing substantially to the GDP of Tajikistan. So cotton and aluminium are the principal exports, and reflecting its reliance on these commodities for economic stability and growth. However, we face challenges because we are heavily dependent on remittances from Tajikistan citizens working abroad, particularly in Russia. So these remittances constitute a large portion of national income and make the economy vulnerable to external economic shifts. So the industrial sector of Tajikistan is, as I mentioned, is focused on aluminium production, but also on hydropower and light industry. The country has significant hydropower potential, and there are ongoing efforts to harness this resource more effectively to boost economic growth and reduce energy dependence. If we can move to the next slide. So the energy sector of Tajikistan, with abundant water potential from its rivers and natural lakes and glaciers, Tajikistan is almost exclusively reliant on hydro for electricity generation. And it has some of the world's largest hydropower plants. It's Nurek hydropower plant, which is commissioned in 1972, and Rogun, currently under construction. Even though Tajikistan is ranked 8th in the world for hydropower potential, we use, for the moment, we exploit around only 4% of total potential. So the challenge to successful economic management is Tajikistan high vulnerability to climate change and climate-related disasters, which have affected within around 20 years to more than 7 million people, and it caused gross domestic product losses around 1.8 billion US dollars. So electricity is an integral part of Tajikistan's economy, and providing a clean, affordable, and secure supply of electricity, it was a great importance for government since independence. And despite its energy potential, Tajikistan's energy sector is supposed to supply shocks the country's dependence on electricity generation from HPPs makes it prone to the seasonal electricity shortages due to water level fluctuations. So in hydropower reservoirs, leaving around 1 million population without reliable electricity supply during the winter months. While Tajikistan has been successful in providing universal access to electricity, the existing system is inefficient. The infrastructure is inefficient. The major hydropower plants were built during the Soviet era, and they are aging, and they require rehabilitation as long as the electricity infrastructure for transmission and distribution. So the losses caused by poor quality of the country's transmission and distribution systems are around 15 to 16% of losses, and is, if to compare with developed countries, it's around 7% and even less. Meanwhile, Tajikistan non-domestic sector is experiencing an average of 6 power outages per month. So the energy policy priorities in Tajikistan are aimed primarily to elevating annual winter shortages and providing population with uninterrupted access to the energy. The country's approach to its energy crisis has been variable, depending on the political situation and relationships with our neighbors. And at the present time, the government plans to diversify energy sources, including by the introducing non-hydro renewable sources, and also rehabilitate and modernize existing energy infrastructure, and also increasing energy saving and going for a regional integration. So energy security remains a national priority, and one of the government's prime aim is to achieve this by increasing electricity generation capacity to power development, industrial development, and particularly the aluminum production, and increase the exports of electricity. So central to achieving this goal is National Development Strategy 2030, and is Rogun HPP project, which is under construction. So the capacity of this project is 3,700 megawatts, and the cost of the plant almost $4 billion US. That is to be completed and commissioned by 2032. And the project will make a significant contribution to the strategies and goals of poverty reduction and growth through reducing energy shortages, and of course increasing the exports of hydropower. So another aim is diversification of electricity sources, as I mentioned, away from HPPs, which are currently generating around 90% of total generation. And other options of increasing capacity is, according to the strategy 2030, it's solar power and wind, and also coal-fired power plants. So Tajikistan mineral resource endowment has not been fully assessed, and its coal and oil gas deposits are estimated to be moderate, and we primarily we import all the gas and oil for internal domestic needs, both for residential and industrial uses. So we also participate in a number of regional projects, and there are large-scale project called CASA 1000. It's a Central Asian, South Asia electricity transmission and trade project. The project is funded by the World Bank, and the main purpose of the project is to help to Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan to export some surpluses of energy to the neighboring countries like Pakistan, Afghanistan, Kazakhstan, and Uzbekistan. And it's expected one CASA 1000 will be operational. It will integrate the electrical networks of Central Asia and South Asia. And also one of the regional projects together with Uzbekistan, at the moment we are constructing 140 megawatt HPP on the Rafshan River. It's will be the joint project with Uzbekistan. Next slide, please. So
as we're going to the next slide, sorry, I just a very quick reminder that for those of you who are watching this presentation, please, you can already start posting your questions. You can do it directly in the comment sections of the social media that you're joining in from. We'll get those questions, and then Jovid will be very happy to answer them after he is done. And also, I just wanted to welcome a few more people who are joining in live today. I saw Batur Sheikh Erdonebat joining us from Mongolia. Welcome. Thank you for being here with us. Okay, I'm sorry for interruption. Jovid, please continue.
Yes, it's okay. Yes, with regards to the challenges that Tajikistan faced, several energy challenges, primarily related to its high and heavy reliance on hydropower for electricity generation. This dependence makes the country vulnerable to seasonal fluctuations and water flow and impacts of climate change, which can lead to inconsistent energy supplies and frequent power shortages, especially during the winter months due to the glacier meltings. So what are these challenges? As I mentioned, first of all is seasonal variability. Second is aging infrastructure. Third is rural energy access, because some of the rural areas are still not electrified, unfortunately, and climate change. Extreme weather conditions, floods, landslide, which can damage the infrastructure. So what are the advancements in the response to the climate change? So first, it's renewable energy investments. So as I said, that expanding the energy generating sources. Then it's The second is infrastructure modernization. Third is regional cooperation, and fourth is climate resilient strategies. Next slide, please. So for policy framework, all the ongoing reforms are led and supported by National Development Strategy 2030 of Republic of Tajikistan for the period up to 2030, and this strategy identifies the long-term goals of the country's development priorities. So the highest long-term goal of Tajikistan is to increase standard of living of the country's population by ensuring sustainable economic development. And to achieve these goals, there were identified several goals and for next 15 years. So first is ensuring energy security and effective use of electricity. So this includes diversification of generation mix and energy efficiency, increasing export potential, and upgrading infrastructure. So second is breaking the communication impasse and turning the country into transit corridor. Third is ensuring food security, access population to quality nutrition. Fourth is expansion of productive employment. Next slide, please. So, talking regarding the investments to the energy sector, so the international financial institutions and developing partners play a significant role in supporting the energy sector reforms through the investments and technical assistance. So here are some key areas where the IFIs like World Bank, Asian Development Bank, EBRD, and other developing agencies invest in Tajikistan's energy sector. So it's hydropower development, energy infrastructure, renewable energy, energy efficiency, its capacity building and institutional strengthening, and regional cooperation. So overall, IFI's investments in Tajikistan energy sector contribute to improving the energy access, reliability, and sustainability. Next slide, please. So, talking about the project that was nominated for the Gabriel Al-Salem Foundation Award for the Excellence in Consulting 2023 in the environmental responsibility category is, so the project is called Tajikistan Rural Electrification. And a little bit about the project. In parts of Gorno-Badakhshan Autonomous Region of Tajikistan, there are 35 settlements that need renewable energy based microgrids to receive electricity services for an average at least for 14 hours a day. The project involves the construction of small networks to connect to centralized networks and construction of infrastructure for production, electricity, and transmission. So there will be small hydropower plants, the solar PV panels, wind generators, and as I said, there will be constructed infrastructure for distribution electricity, including transformers, power lines, and electricity meters. So the implementation of this project will lead to a reduction of use of traditional diesel fuel and coal and firewood and other type of fuel, which helps to improve the environment. It was reported that around 2% of population is not connected still to electricity networks. And this strategic investment supports the efforts to connect households in some of the poorest and most remote areas of Tajikistan to electricity and providing them with the opportunities to engage in economic activities and strengthen the human capital. This objective is supported further by ability to connect local electricity grid to the neighboring communities of Afghanistan and strengthen social economic development of either part of border. And the project is divided into two parts, in two phases. The first phase is the geospatial analysis and preparation of basic design, which is already completed, and the second phase, which is design and design review and construction supervision, which is under implementation. So yeah, that is all from my side. If there are any questions, I will be very glad to address them.
Thank you so much, Jovid, for this, very interesting, inspiring presentation about all this great work that is happening in Tajikistan. Also, thank you for putting it all together and for these great photographs that you chose. I just couldn't take my eyes off looking at the photographs and enjoying at least the glimpses of the beauty of the country where you live. So yeah, thank you for that. As you were speaking, yeah, we did get already a few questions. So perhaps we can move on with those as our time is ticking very fast. So there was a question from Anya. And this has to do with how you envision Tajikistan's energy profile in 2050. What % would come from renewable energy and which renewable energy source would be dominant? Can you please comment on that?
Yes, sure. By 2015, mainly, as I mentioned, the generation mix of Tajikistan is 90% consists of hydropower, even though that we have shortages during the winter time. But I have mentioned about Rogun HPP project, which is supposed to be completed by 2032, which will add to the generation capacity, of course. So comparing with the other Central Asian countries, even now we are very green, as soon as 90% comes from HPP. So, but the strategy for diversification also includes the generation mix consisting of solar energy and wind. So according to the generation expansion plan, we are planning in next 10 years to introduce more than 1,000 megawatt of solar energy. So so primarily it will be the energy from HVPs, and maybe around 5% will be the energy coming from solar. Even though that the potential for solar in Tajikistan is enormous, because it's over, according to the estimates, 280, around 300 sunny days. So yeah, we can and we can cover internal needs with around to 20% by solar.
Thank you very much. I hope, Anya, that answered your question. Maybe, you can post the next question that came in. That was from Gulommukhidinov, who's joining us from Almaty, Kazakhstan. And Gulsum says that in early 2000, she worked with the Tajikistan grid operating company, Barki Tajik, and there were some problems with metering equipment. Do you know, Jovid, how is the situation nowadays? Has it improved?
Yes, well, it's improving the situation. The Bark Tajik, for your information, Gulsum, is now divided into three different entities. So now the generating assets belong to Bark Tajik. Now there is a separate entity called Shabakoi Intikoli Bark, which is transmission, and also Shabakoi Taksimoti Bark, which is distribution. So these are three different entities, and now the metering and billing is on distribution side, and there is the ADB project, which is called Advanced Metering Infrastructure, which is introducing advanced metering. So it's smart meters. So the system will be more or less the same like it is now is in a soaked area. So they will be managed remotely, and all the information will also be collecting remotely. So they are advancing this project, and yes, the overall situation, I think, will improve very soon after the completion of this project.
Thank you very much. I hope this answers your question, Gulsum. Thank you for joining us. Roman Vakulchuk is asking, thanking you and asking about the energy education in Tajikistan. And I have a little bit of a background for this question because Roman is a good friend of our foundation. He is an energy transition scholar, currently living in Oslo and working for the Norwegian Institute of International Affairs. He is a scholar and a researcher. And he just a few days ago, he shared his new study. And I had the opportunity to go over it and learn more about it. And it's just very interesting. And I thought it would be so interesting to actually ask this question about education in the renewable energy in Tajikistan. So that's why Roman is here. Thank you, Roman, for joining us. So as Roman points out, they found out that there is still more workforce is produced for fossil fuels than more than for the renewable energy. While today we're witnessing growing global shortages of labor for green energy. So those were the findings of the research. And here is even actually some information for Tajikistan, because I know that Raman in his research covered 196 countries, right? And yeah, I asked him for some information about Tajikistan. So yep, that's the numbers that he is sharing with us. So 80% of energy-related degrees are dedicated to general energy engineering and 20% to fossil fuels. While we found no degree in clean energy. So these are the statistics. But there is a positive trend is that many energy degree programs at universities in Tajikistan are introducing more courses that focus on green energy. Yeah, thank you, Roman, for all this information. Jovid, what can you say about this?
Well, yes, thank you, Roman, for your question. Yes, it's indeed a good question because, yeah, it's very difficult nowadays to update the program of the universities and to meet the current realities. And we also, as a we had a project who also contributed to the development of curriculum for our technical university. So this was in the framework of EBRD project for the rehabilitation of Kayrakum HPP. There was a soft component for the developing curriculum for the Polytechnical University, and together with our colleagues from Canada, from Great Britain. We have developed a curriculum for technical university, introducing more renewable energy. So yeah, and we hope that they are using this curriculum, and very soon we'll have more engineers, renewable energy engineers in solar and wind also.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. It's good to hear that there is progress in the educational system as well. Next question. And actually, I just wanted to mention that Raman, this is a really great study that is just finished, and we have been talking about possibly doing a whole episode about this at a later time. So please stay tuned. We'll let you know when we can do it. We're aiming at June 1st, so Raman can share in more detail the findings of his research, this research and other research as well. So next question for Jovid comes from Ron Finch, who is joining us today from Spain. Thank you, Ron, for supporting us as always and for your great questions. So Ron saying that you, Jovid, mentioned that the system has 14% losses, which is double Western countries. Are the losses technical, or are some illegal connections suspected?
Thank you, Ron, for your question. I was, of course, talking about technical losses because, as I said, that we had very old infrastructure, so transmission, distribution lines, substations. Most of them were built during the Soviet era, and they are aging and need to be rehabilitated. So yeah, this, of course, I mean, this aging infrastructure cause these technical losses. So with regard to the illegal connections, well, I don't have information about this, but yeah, as I said, the losses which I mentioned is more on the technical side.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I also just noticed, I saw that Jamshed was joining us and saying hello and thanking you for your excellent presentation. And he's also commenting on the curriculum for the technical university and saying it's a great initiative. And thank you very much, Jamshed, for joining us today, for tuning in to this presentation. Thank you for your comments. Raman is saying also thank you for the detailed response. Very interesting. One more question from Anya, who just wants to follow up on her initial question about what will happen in 2050. And so would it be possible to, her question is whether it will be possible to completely phase out the use of fossil-based energy in Tajikistan. What do you think about that, Jovid?
Well, with regards to the use of fossil, I believe that after completing the big projects and including Ragun HPP, we will be able to cover internal needs by the electricity coming from HPPs. And yes, as I said, that even now, so the energy mix is more on the side of green energy, so 90%, and the fossil fuel is even now it's a few percent just to cover winter peaks is used, and yeah, we believe we hope that yeah, by the by completion of our big projects, we'll be able to phase out the use of fossil based energy in the future.
Thank you for this inspiring prognosis. So really hope for that. The world really needs to move away from fossil-based fuels towards totally renewable energy sources. I just wanted to bring up the comment that came from Mikhail Petrushkov. He is saying in Russian that it's too bad that there's not been a translation of this episode. Well, first of all, thank you, Mikhail, for joining us. And again, I just wanted to explain that, well, we are an international organization and English is our main language of operation, even though our speakers and our guests speak many other languages. As you could tell, we got viewers today from at least 6 countries, and not all of them speak Russian, of course, although some do. And while I personally and Jovid, we can speak Russian, we really would not be able to translate. But what I wanted to say is that the replay of these episodes, they all stay on the social media, on which, on several social media, Facebook, YouTube. And as I understand, nowadays you can probably generate captions in the language that you need, specifically, Russian language in this case. So there might be ways to still watch us at a later time with some captions into the language. I'm not sure about this, but I'm just wanted to at least say that there might be a possibility. But again, I'm very sorry we don't offer the translation on any specific language because, again, there are so many people joining with different language needs, and we just are not able to do that. So English is our main language of operation. Anya saying, thank you very much for your fascinating presentation, Jovid. I think Tajikistan serves as a great example for other countries in terms of green energy, and very correctly so. It's it seems that Tajikistan is really pioneering the green reforms in Central Asia. And of course, there is no way for me to say that other countries are not doing their share. I know of great initiatives in the Kyrgyz Republic, in Kazakhstan, in Uzbekistan, but I think Tajikistan, because of its very special place in Central Asia, at this point, it's really doing such great things and is serving as a great example. So thank you from me as well. We still have a couple of minutes left for our show. So I just wanted to ask my question that is related to the support that you get from international organizations. And I know you already mentioned that there is the World Bank project and that European Bank for Reconstruction and Development is operating in Tajikistan, which I know very well because that was the program actually started by Gabriel Al-Salem in early 2000. And maybe if you can just elaborate a little bit more on that and just tell us about the role of international financial institutions and development partners and what role they play in supporting Tajikistan's energy sector, and also what are some key areas of investment?
With regards to the support of IFIs, well, the World Bank, the Asia Development Bank, and the EBRD is, let's say, the IFIs which has the biggest share, and so they invest in the different projects. So it's development and rehabilitation of HPPs. So as I mentioned about the ADB projects, which are related to the introducing advanced metering, rehabilitation of infrastructure. Also, I've mentioned about the big project of EBRD. So they are divided into two parts. So there are grants and credits, but mainly it is grants coming from these IFIs. So recently also I can mention that the BRD has done the research on the introducing, so it was introducing the solar power in Sukt area. Well, also there is, as I said, the CASA project, which is funded by the World Bank. Is also a big project which will be integrating the regional energy flows. Well, let's say the development of energy sector wouldn't be possible without the assistance of developing partners, and their contribution is really enormous.
Thank you very much. Well, I really hope that the international organizations continue to support the reforms in Tajikistan, and not only in the energy sector, but in other important sectors as well. So, but it's great, this work continues. And here's one more comments coming in, people thanking you for your wonderful presentation with very important information. Yeah, thank you, Roman, for being here with us today. Appreciate it a lot. Appreciate you, as well as all of our other participants and viewers and those who will be watching this replay at a later time. So before we wrap up, again, I just wanted to thank everyone, and also, of course, Jovid Gulommukhidinov, Managing Director of TajHydro, for sharing his experience and knowledge about the energy sector and the green reforms in Tajikistan. Wanted to congratulate you again on winning the award for excellence in consulting, and remind other consultants that the award happens every year, and on the foundation's website you can find more information about how to apply and the requirements, the categories, and all the relevant information. And we hope you enjoyed today's episode of Consulting Without Borders Perspectives. Please stay tuned for our next episode on May 1st. And at that time, we will be actually welcoming another winner of our award for excellence in consulting. Will be joining us from Turkey. It will be Ancon Consulting. And they will talk about their groundbreaking work in the human rights and youth empowerment category sector. Once again, thank you everyone for your continued support and engagement. We sincerely appreciate each and every one of you. I look forward to seeing you all on May 1st. And in the meantime, I wish all of you a fantastic month of April. Take care and goodbye.
Bye.